I want to give my flowers to the creator, also director, Kim Hyung-tae, and the whole team at Shift Up for creating Stellar Blade, a game that fans would actually enjoy, a practice that seems to be lost, not just with gaming, but entertainment overall. It was shocking to see the amount of hit pieces and smear campaigns levied at this game, trying to bury it from seeing any light of success, all because what?
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
It had an attractive, beautiful, sexy woman lead as the character, God forbid. Something that just makes these activist journalists go crazy whenever in the sight of. For some reason, they are only obsessed with trying to force feed the public a bunch of women that look like men, ugly ducks, and fat asses, and get aggravated when the fans reject them. It's like that scene in Mean Girls when the beautiful Gretchen Wiener keeps trying to make fetch happen.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Just insert fetch with fat and you'll see what I mean. Journalists making statements such as, this game will contribute to violence against women, causing them to unalive themselves. This game was made for people who like to beat their wives.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And that Eve as a character is setting unrealistic body standards. And I thought, yeah, maybe in the West or America where obesity is ubiquitous and rampant, but in the East, women actually make an effort to maintain some type of attractiveness. And on top of that, it came out that Eve was actually based on an actual South Korean model. Which is why I conclude these complaints were made by a bunch of jealous and envious women and men who make it their life's work to pander to them, a dangerous duo that has led to the downfall of Western entertainment. I truly believe Stellar Blade was the turning point to shift, no pun intended,
I understood that reference.
power out of these journalists' hands and mainstream outlets because they were really giving it their all to make sure this game would fail. And it showed if you just stick to your creative vision, stand firm, and remain like a rock or boulder not easily pushed, you will reap the rewards of your patience, stoicism, and being able to endure such attacks. I really believe the public or fans were growing tired of these activists having their way with different industries we find escapism in, and were waiting for someone to just not cave to the mob. And Stellar Blade seemed to be the game that did that. With a few mistakes made in the beginning, yes, however, they seem to make up for that during the rest of the game's releases, which shows they're actually listening to the fans and not these journalists. Stellar Blade is like the cowboy that is the first one over the hill, then gets rocks and arrows flung at them, taking all the heat, but eventually gives way and clears a path for the rest to follow.
You know, he's actually like the cowboy, you know, he runs over the hill and then, you know, the Indians hit him with his arrows, and then he comes back like, yo, it's a lot of them over there. And then we go over there and conquer.
I would say clearing the path for Black Myth Wukong to also not bend the knee to these activists. And I personally enjoy Stellar Blade. I bought a physical copy, still unopened, sealed up, and played the digital version on PS5, streaming the whole game, beating it twice. Many remember that DLC Raven boss challenge that took me forever to beat, but eventually did as well. And I am so happy and proud that even after a year and some change, it sold another 1 million copies for its PC release, with the curator himself celebrating the mods the fans are creating instead of acting like some tyrant punishing those who dare to do so. And if anything, making a statement saying, I'm expecting more, almost issuing a challenge to do better than the original outfits of the game. Modders still need to ramp up their firepower a bit. It's still lacking. At this point, I think the official content still has the upper hand. Please, let this be a wake-up call to the industry, especially with Japanese creators who are falling down the trap of listening to journalists taking commands from activists who seek to destroy their properties, like Tekken 8 with this headline. Bandai Namco localization teams admit they order Japanese devs to censor their female character designs. We tell them that the cleavage is a bit too exposed or the skirt is a bit too short.
You fucking people.
Or the Final Fantasy new director now dropping their Japanese audience to cater to the global audience, aka activists. Final Fantasy Rebirth director says Japanese devs now create with a global audience mind from the very start. Confirms game subjected to thorough ethical reviews tailored to different regions. And this is all just a way for activists to infiltrate so many fandoms built over decades to hijack them.
Give people the stuff you know they want, so you can inject things that maybe they aren't familiar with or maybe they don't know they want, but make them like that stuff.
And this is why I say Stellar Blade is important. It flies in the face of what these Eastern creators believe to be so true, thinking if we listen to journalists, that'll lead to success.
No.
But instead, the opposite proved to be true, and I praise Stellar Blade for making that clear. And with the added success of 1 million copies sold for PC, the director continues to celebrate buying his whole staff a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2s, thanking the fans constantly, taking pictures with Eve's model, everything fans love to see, which motivates us to support even more, building that tight relationship with the fan base. And I'll say again, thank you, Shift Up, for serving as a beacon of common sense in our age of stupidity, doing dumb shit, and just giving us something fun and good old pure escapism, because that's all we ever asked for. Thank you. But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And something I forgot to mention is that these journalists tried to criticize the curator for not knowing what real women look like compared to Eve. Then when pictures of his wife came out, who looks like a bombshell model herself and actually helps him out with game development, they quickly apologized in humiliation. Something these journalists need to do more, and I love to see it. Also, if you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, links in the description. If you love those Samurai Champloo lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. And if you want to support me and the content I create, consider joining my channel through memberships. It's much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think, peace.